Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is a live recording of a 50-minute full body flexibility practice. So, I do use my props today. I've got my bolster, I've got two hand towels to be cushions for my knees, and as well, I have my strap. So, find a little bit of space to move, and let's get started. I've got all of my props. We are going to get started here laying down. So actually you don't need anything terribly close by while we're laying down, but if you're going to lay on something, you can set that up. So find your way down to your back. And maybe just start with a stretch of your arms up and above your head. And you might leave your arms there if your hands land on the ground and they want to stay there. Or you can move your arms somewhere else. And just soften through your shoulders a little bit. Let your arms get a little bit heavier. And if you're laying on top of something, just give your spine, your back a chance to arch a little bit. By keeping your hips touching the ground. And just deciding what you'd like to do with your legs if you haven't already. Maybe letting your knees fall out wide. And getting into your hips. And once you're done moving around and adjusting, let's take a slow breath in and out. And just allow your day to slow down. So you connect with your breath. Let your entire body start to soften. If you have your arms reaching above your head, might lift your hands up again and kind of stretch some more. And then just bring your arms back to your sides. And we can all bring our arms in a little bit closer to our sides. And you might even turn your palms to face down. If you've got your knees out wide, and start to bring them together too, so that our feet are just planted on the ground. Now we can either leave our hands just on the outside of our hips with our palms facing down, or we can try to slide our hands, both of them, kind of underneath. It might be underneath your hips, your glutes, or your low back. You can use your pillow if you'd like, or maybe you're flat on the ground, or you want to take your pillow out. But maybe you can tuck your hands under you with your palms facing down. That might make you arch your back a little bit. And then just if you wanted to go a little bit further, whether you're on a pillow or flat on your back, you could lift up more and maybe try to slide your forearms under your back, both of them. But just place one in front of the other so they're not stacked on top of one another. And then try to bring your hips back down if you had to lift them. So it's going to make you arch your back more. Maybe feel the shoulders more. And then if you did go so far as to bring your forearms under you, put one in front of the other. So let's just lift back up and kind of switch that. Bring your other forearm in front. And then let the hips come down again. Let the back arch a little bit. Take just another breath here, and then you can start to lift up just enough to take your arms or your hands out from under you. Lay back down with your arms at your sides. You might flip the palms to face up now. Maybe even wiggle your fingers around. If you are on top of something, we will sit up, we'll take it out. You can slide it off to the side so that you are flat on your back. And maybe you'll hug your knees to your chest or leave your feet on the ground. Sway side to side if that feels good, but just notice how you feel with your arms and your shoulders. Down your spine and into your back. What about your hips? We're going to be making our way up to seated. You can roll over or rock yourself forwards. Come all the way up, and if you do have a strap or something to make your arms longer, have that close by. We're going to start with our right leg long and our left foot on the inner thigh. And then if you want to use a strap, you can hook it on your foot or just point your toes up. But bring some nice length into your spine and a little bend through your knee. You can take an inhale, and as you exhale, you can fold forwards if you'd like. Holding onto the strap or not. Getting a little longer through that right leg. We're folding forwards right now. Let's use an inhale to lift on up. Now you can technically keep your foot against the inner thigh, or we can lift it up a little bit and then just try to turn the bottom of the foot to face up so that we are stretching through the outside edge of the ankle. So you're still kind of resting somewhat on the inner top thigh, not right on top, so that you can relax the ankle. Maybe the bottom of the foot is pointing up, but the outside of that ankle is getting a nice stretch, as long as your knee is happy with your foot there. Or you can leave your foot just on the ground on the inner thigh. So if you did move your foot, or if you did not move your foot, just bring some more length into your spine again. And maybe you're good just sitting tall, especially if you're getting a nice ankle stretch. But should you want to lean forwards again, maybe you left your foot on the ground, you can fold forwards again. As long as everything is happy, especially that left knee. Maybe you're using your strap on your foot. Once again, if you're folding forwards, we're going to come back up. And then we're going to try to move this left leg all the way up and over. So crossing your legs as much as you can, trying to stack your knees on top of one another. Your right leg can stay long. You might even be leaning forwards again, or you could bend your right leg and try to stack the knees and bring the feet out to the sides. Sitting tall or folding forwards, whether both legs are bent or if your right leg is still straight underneath you. You can use the strap or not. If you are folding forwards here, use an inhale to lift. When you're ready to lift, we can uncross our legs or hug the knees to the chest or keep your legs long. Maybe shake it out a little bit. And then we'll be bringing our left leg long and just starting with that right foot on the ground on the inside of the leg. Maybe pointing your toes up, maybe adding your strap. But take an inhale to lengthen through your spine. And as you exhale, you can fold, if you're gonna fold, with a nice little soft bend through your knee. Take another breath. If you're folding forward, you can start to lift again. But maybe you'll be leaving your foot where it is and just resetting the upper body, lengthening the spine again. Or maybe you're going to lift the foot up a bit to get that outer ankle stretch, resting your foot kind of on top of the leg, but also kind of on the inner thigh still. Maybe the bottom of your foot faces up slightly. The right knee is happy. We can stay seated nice and tall or lean forwards a little bit again. Maybe with the strap or not. And once again, if you are folding forwards right now, slowly lift on up. Maybe we can take our right leg and bring it over top some more. Trying to stack our knees or get them a little bit closer together. The left leg can stay long. And maybe you'll lean forwards. Maybe you'll stay seated tall. If you do want to bend your left leg, so both of your feet are out to the sides, the knees are in the middle. And a chance to lean forwards here too. Stay for another breath wherever you are, and should you be leaning forwards, use an inhale to find your way back up. And we can uncross the legs. You can give your knees a hug or a squeeze. And then we'll be moving to tabletop from here. So you can find your way onto the hands and knees. Maybe a few extra sways of the hips side to side. And you might even take your left hand, turn the palm to face up. Fingers pointing towards your knee. Spread them wide. Try to touch your fingertips to the ground. And then bringing your left palm back down, and you can switch to the right palm facing up. Spread the fingers wide. And then bringing your right palm back to the ground as well. So back to our tabletop. And maybe taking a couple extra sways through the hips if you'd like. But let's reach our left arm out in front. And we'll slide our right arm underneath the chest. And try to lower down the shoulder, lower your head, keeping your hips high. Stay for another breath on this side. Use an inhale to slowly lift your chest. And if you want to go right to the other side, you can reach your right arm forwards and then slide your left arm under. And if you want to take just a moment before you switch, you can do that too. But letting the shoulder get as close to the ground as you can get it, your head too. Another breath here, and then you can use an inhale to lift up all the way to tabletop this time. Maybe swaying side to side just a few times. We're going to be making our way to our bellies though, so you can lay down when you're ready to lay down. And just have some space on either side of you if you've got all your props everywhere. Let's start by just stacking our palms. You can rest your chin or your forehead on top and maybe taking a gentle sway through the hips. Then let's bring our left arm out to the side. So we'll have our arm nice and straight. Palm down in line with your shoulder. And then you can tip over onto your left side if you'd like. Opening up through the front of the shoulder and into your chest. And if you are on your left side right now, just start to come back over onto your belly. Now, if you want, you can leave your left arm out here, and we're going to try to roll onto our left side again. Or we can lift our left foot up and try to reach for it. So maybe you use your strap to make your arm longer. Maybe you can hold your foot. If you want to stay in the quad stretch on your belly, you can do that too. But if you're going to try to tip over onto your left side again, maybe you'll hold the inside edge of the foot and see how that feels. And you can tip over onto your left side again. Push into your right hand a little bit. Try to tip over, maybe holding your foot. And if you're on your left side right now, We're going to come back over onto our belly. And if you're holding onto your foot, just gently let it go. Let's take a moment. Bring our palms together, rest your forehead, maybe even take a sway through the hips. And now we are going to do that just one more time. You can have your left arm out to the side, not holding any foot. You could try to hold the left foot again, or this last time, you could try to reach for the right foot. Left hand reaching for the right foot. So that might be a little trickier to get. And same thing, you might try and reach for the inside of the foot. But if you're going to roll, maybe you can hold the outside of the foot and then tip over again. Push into the right hand, maybe a little bit to help you tip. And roll. And if you're holding onto your foot and you've tipped to the side too, you could slide the foot a little further away from you instead of trying to bring the foot closer to you. And maybe it doesn't want to move at all. So if you're holding onto your foot, you could technically let go of it maybe while you're still on your left side. And then you could roll over. Or keep holding your foot, whatever you prefer, but find your way back onto your belly, where you can stack your palms, rest your forehead, or just have your left arm somewhere that's really comfortable, where you can relax it. Relax your whole body. We'll be switching to our right arm coming out to the side, not reaching for any foot to start. Just out straight, palm down in line with your shoulder. And then you can start to roll over onto the right side if that's where you're going to go. Just let your legs be wherever they want to be. Open up your shoulder and your chest. And if you're on your right side right now, slowly turn back over and onto your belly. And you might be leaving your arm out for the second set. You might reach for your right foot. If you want to skip the roll to the side, you can stay on your belly. You might hold the outside edge of the foot. But if you're going to roll, you might try the inside edge of the foot. Tipping over, if you're going to tip over. Let's come back over onto our bellies. If you are on your side, and should you be holding your foot, slowly, slowly bring it back down. And you might stack your palms for a moment just to reset, relax, and also deciding where you'll be going next. If your right arm will go back out to the sides, if you'll reach for your right foot again, or if you'll reach for your left. So right hand reaching for a foot if you'd like, maybe using your strap to make your arm longer. And if you're holding or reaching for the left foot, maybe you can grab the outside edge. Feel free to roll back over onto your right side. And then maybe if you've got your foot, you will slide it further from you. And if you're on your side, slowly tip back over. Maybe you want to let go of your foot first. All the way onto your belly again. And place your arms wherever is nice and comfy. You might take a gentle sway through your hip. You might be nice and still. When you're feeling ready to move again, we're going to push ourselves up onto our knees. And then we're going to find our way to child's pose, but maybe child's pose will turn into a little bit of a frog pose. So if you do want to have any sort of cushions for your knees close by, or if you want to roll your mat over, you could do that too. But we're going to start in child's pose. So knees out wide, but our feet, our big toes, nice and close together. You can lean forwards. You can melt it all the way down. And just let your chest get a little heavier. Maybe wiggle your toes. Maybe you can feel your big toes touching one another. And maybe this is where you will be staying. The big toes touching and the knees out a little wider. And if you wanted to lift up a little bit the upper body so that you can move your knees maybe a little bit wider, as well as your feet. You can still kind of point the toes towards one another. So you're resting kind of on the tops of the feet, but let the feet stay a little closer than the knees are right now. And then you can melt it down. And if it feels too much to reach your arms really far in front, like you just were, you might be more on your forearms just to keep your chest a little bit higher. But feel free to slide your pillow underneath your chest. And if you're lucky enough to be on a smoother surface where your knees can kind of slide a little wider and a little wider without moving too much, you can let them go. And at the same time, your feet can kind of go a little wider and a little wider too. But if you do need to lift up to make those adjustments, you can lift up and maybe widen the feet and maybe widen the knees. And still letting the chest lean forwards. Letting the chest be heavy. And if your feet get so wide that they're as wide as your knees, maybe you're resting on the inside edges of the feet now, toes pointing out to the sides a little bit. Few more moments here if you want to make any micro adjustments or big adjustments. Or maybe just finding your way back to your breath if your mind has started to wander or to really get lost in your hips. And slowly, slowly start to move. You might try to slide the feet a little bit closer together. And maybe lift a little more onto your forearms and just shift the weight to one side to maybe bring a knee under you. Shift the weight to the other side to maybe bring the other knee into, however you can most gracefully get yourself up and out of your frog. And you might end up in tabletop and want to stay here to sway your hips. You might also want to sit all the way down with your legs in front of you. Together, maybe give them a little bit of a shake, a little bit of a hug. And you can find your way onto your back eventually. Take your time. You might want to rest your legs on something though. So feel free to bring a pillow to the bottom of your mat, but laying down, and maybe you'll hug your knees in or just rest your feet on the ground or on your pillow. But give your hips a chance to reset, relax. You might stay here a little longer with the knees bent. Or it might feel good to send your legs long and maybe have them elevated a little bit, your pillow. It could be under your knees, under your calves. Place your arms somewhere comfy too. Close your eye. Feel the sensations flowing through you. As you find stillness here in Shavasana. And slowly start to move. If your feet are floating right now, maybe add some ankle circles. Maybe take a nice deep breath in and reach your arms above your head for a stretch. Then you can bend your knees one leg at a time. And roll over. Finding your way to a comfy seat when you're ready. You can bring your hands together if you'd like. Awesome practice, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great weekend, and we will see you guys very soon. Namaste.